Hello, welcome. I think I'm a little early. Sorry about that. I'm usually always late, and I went to kind of check my settings, and I had it kind of going. As you know, it was going already just to get everything ready and give people a chance to find me. And I started going on live right away. So that's not quite how I intended to begin this. But I'm just going to take a little time here and go a little slow in case anybody hasn't found me yet and they'd like to. And I'm supposed to be starting with my little graphic that Craig made me, my husband. And it goes kind of like this. Cool, huh? Hi, Joanne. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Teresa with Keep in Touch Crafts, and I'm in Oak Grove, Minnesota. Enjoying some very close to spring feelings out there, which is amazing. Hope you had a great day, and hope you're doing well. I appreciate you tuning in. I will be putting this up on YouTube also when I'm done. So for those people who are watching there on my YouTube channel, hello. And for those of you on Facebook Live and watching me later on, hello as well. So thank you guys. Just hoping that what I'm doing tonight will be something that I can explain well, because it looks like it's complicated, but it's not. It's not really complicated. It's nice to make your own pattern so that you can kind of remember all of the steps. So that's kind of what I'll be working on to start with, is just kind of getting all those measurements. And I could have just put the pattern up there, but I wanted to walk you through it so that you can make your own pattern and kind of make your own notes and that kind of thing. Again, it's not hard, but it's kind of cool, kind of fun, something different. This originally was something I found on Paper Pixie eons ago, a long time ago. I found a pattern that I had stashed away, and I had been looking all over for it because I really liked the box. And so I was able to find my notes, and it was from Paper Pixie a long time ago. So I credit her with this, and I don't know where she got it or anything because it's been so long. And so I don't even remember when it was, etc. So I hope you enjoy it. Kind of what I was thinking was this might be nice if anybody wants to make their own boxes, or kind of make them almost an Easter little treat holder if you want. You could do Easter, but of course, depending on how you decorate them and embellish and all that, it can be a party favor. It could be a table decoration at everybody's spot at a baby shower, or that kind of thing. Little birthday goodie, or for a coworker or something like that. Lots of things you can do with this. As usual, most of our projects, we always try to make sure that there's a lot of different things you can do with it and help you envision what you would want to do with this pattern. So I hope I can do that. Make sure that you let me know if you have any questions later or anything. And if you need any of the supplies, you can go on my Stampin' Up website, so you can take a gander there if you need anything. We are getting ready to be retiring a few, well, like 5 different colors that were in our, I think they're 2019 to 2021 color set. There are 5 colors that are going to be retiring soon. I'm going to be doing a few of those, or using a couple of those in my projects today. The reason I bring that up is if it's something you like, you may want to go on to Stampin' Up's website and get the re-inkers or the paper or whatever it is, because any of our suites or DSP, designer series paper, or anything that has those colors in it are all going to be going away. So if it's something you like, you may want to nab it up while you can. Thanks for joining, Sam. Nice to see you. Okay, I am going to turn my camera down so that I can show you a few things, and we'll get started on our project. All right, let's go right here. Hopefully you'll be able to see this okay. My nice glasses right in the middle of it, huh? I might scoot it over just to try to get a little bit brighter of a screen. Sorry, you can close your eyes a second if it's going to make you all dizzy. I guess some people get dizzy with that kind of thing. I never have, but I'm not like a motion sickness person anyway. So, all right, We have a little light on the subject here. I'm going to start with those retiring colors. I stamped this little card just to show you the different colors that are in the 2019 and 2020. Yeah, I was wrong. Sorry, guys. The 2019-2020 retiring colors are going to be the Rococo Rose, Terracotta Tile, Pretty Peacock, Seaside Spray, and Purple Posy. So anything that you like, if they're any of your favorites or something like that, you may want to get those, because all of a sudden they'll probably be gone. Anyways, those are the colors that are retiring, and then in the next annual catalog we'll get a bunch, 5 more new ones. So it's always changing, but that helps keep us current and keeps us up with the times, I guess you'd say, right? Okay, next I am going to bring in, some tools. So first, the annual catalog. The project I am going to use, or make, tonight, is going to be using this Whale of a Time suite. I know on my original photo, I was showing you this one. I think this one was in the photo. And that uses the Hydrangea Hill. And I will be showing you more about that, but I did want to show the flexibility of it so you could see that you can use it for any type of a recipient. It doesn't have to be all floral. So I made a few others that I'll show you when I'm done here. But I thought it'd be nice to have one that maybe would be more geared towards kids or young people or people who like aqua stuff, waters, whales, whatever. So it's a little bit more for kids, but it doesn't have to be, but it could be if you'd like. So that's why I'm using this suite. It's in our annual catalog. This has a lot of colors in it that are going to be going away, so I thought I better use it while I can. It's a really awesome suite. It has that whole ocean theme, seaweed and turtles and whales and all that. It comes with a punch for whales, and it has like even the water splash that splashes up, and I'll show you how to use that in our project. It comes, I'm going to be using the Pretty Peacock. This is the ink pad that I'll be using today. I'm going to be having some of that Pretty Peacock in the in the one I'm making. And the stamp set looks like this, although I'm not even using the stamp set today, I don't think. It's really cool though. It goes perfectly with the paper and the punch. So you could stamp this whale, for example, color it in, and then the punch would be able to punch it out. So, and it also, the punch works with the paper too. So there are some whales I'm just going to punch out of the paper just to save time. But this is something you could do a lot with, and I've seen a really cool projects made with that. It's photopolymer. Really cool looking, and that's that. But I am going to use just a sentiment from the Oval Occasions. I know I've showed this a few times now. It's one that I use a lot. And I'm going to be using a little treat for you, since it's a little treat box. And along with that, of course, is the oval punch. Now, the stuff I'm showing you here is all just how I'm going to be decorating it, or the theme of mine. You use whatever you have, and you can adapt whatever you have if this isn't to your liking or what you want. But if you have this, you can feel free to use that as well. I'm going to use the ribbon that comes with this suite as well, and also, which is real pretty. It's very light colored. I think it's a pool party color. Sheer ribbon, really cool. Kind of that same ocean type of a feel to it, light. Then they also have these cool, I keep saying the same words like cool and great and nice. Okay. These are the sequins that come with it, and I'm going to be decorating the project with some of these. I don't know if you can see there are little seashells in there and a bunch of bright colors. They all coordinate with this set. And again, this is just to make it look pretty. You can, use the stuff that I'll be telling you tonight. I'll be able to show you how you can make this at home using what you have. Then I'll show you the paper too here. paper. All right, so I'm going to be making mine out of this pretty peacock color I was telling you, 8.5 by 8. I'm going to show you how to score that. And then the paper in this set, this is my pattern. I don't need that here. Oh, it comes with an embossing folder also. And here's the pattern that it makes. It's kind of a C background one. It's a 3D, really nice impressions that this makes. And this is beautiful on its own as a background paper. And that's the embossing folder that comes with it. Super cute. So the paper is 6 by 6 paper, and it has 12 two-sided designs. So there are like 24 different designs in this set, and one side of the paper has more of the subtle colors, and then in kind of the all over more of a monotone type, and then the other side of this, so like on the other side of this piece is this, the other side of this one is the seahorses, that kind of thing. And that, so the characters or a scenery is more prevalent on the other side. So there's a lot to choose from and a lot of different colors you can use. It's really a fun set. Okay, and then the coordinating colors that go along with this, if you have any of these colors of cardstock or ink, you'll know that they'll be working along with this. So it's Bumblebee, Granny Apple Green, Just Jade, Calypso Coral, I believe that's retiring, Blackberry Bliss, Pacific Point, and Pool Party. Gosh, is Pacific Point retiring? I don't know, but it also does go along with the one that I just showed you was the Pretty Peacock. That's also in there. I don't know why I didn't put that on here. Forgot that one. Okay. I'm going to set all this aside, and we will get our paper. Here, by the way, here's what the embossing folder looks like. It's really large. It can do, I think, almost 6 by 6 piece in there. A lot of detail, a lot of different heights and that kind of thing, or depths or whatever in this folder. Really cool. Then, if you have stitched shapes or any squares, I'm going to be using the stitch shape. Stitch shapes are in our annual catalog, and they come with ovals and circles and then squares. So I am going to use the second from the smallest. That's the one I'm going to use. I believe the opening is roughly, it's about 1.5 inches in the opening. You can hand cut your panels that we're going to be decorating with. I do this just because it's easier, and it kind of adds a little stitched stitching on there. That looks kind of neat, but if you don't have that, you can use a ruler and a knife or a little cutter or whatever you have to make your decorations on your box. Okay, so that's what I'm using. And so we're going to bring in however you can score things. So we have available through Stampin' Up, we have a scoring board. And this thing is big. It's a huge, big scoring board with stuff on it. And it has measurements on the side and the top. And it has all these grooves in it. And then you can score on different markings. And it has this little arrow that points down to the different areas or to the actual slot that you want to score in, which really helps speed things up, especially if you have several going across. But that's one thing you can use. It comes with a stylus with two different, whoops, I'm in the wrong spot. Hello, there we are. A stylus comes with it with different ends on it. A bigger end if it's more of a fragile paper, a smaller one for a little bit stronger paper. Oh boy, guys, sorry. I'm not going to use this though, because you can do the same thing either with a ruler and your own stylus. You can do that on your own and score exactly where I'm going to tell you. Or I'm just going to use our paper trimmer because it has scoring and cutting in it. As you know, you've seen me use it a ton, so I always use this one. All right, so I think you can see that pretty well. All right, so you have your paper. It was 8.5 by 11, and then I just, I'm going to back up a little. It was 8.5 by 11. I just cut it to 8 by 8.5. So this side is the 8.5 side, and then this is the 8 side. So starting, you're going to start with the 8-inch width up at the top of your scoring board. Or if you have your ruler, you're going to start here and you're going to measure in the amounts that I'm going to tell you. But if you can at all get something like this to help you with scoring, it'll make it go a lot easier. And so if possible, I would recommend that. I'm going to move this out of the way. So we have our 8-inch side is to the top. And we're going to be marking or scoring 4 different scores. So with the 8-inch side, we want 2, 5, 6, 7. So we'll write that down. 2 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches, and 7 inches. And if you have the scoring board, you know to use this lighter blade. So 2 inches. All right, I'm going to score that one. There's 2. And then we have, I got to put my measurements right and see them better. 2, now 5. Let's go on the 5. And score. And 6. I just want to make sure you can see. And 7. All right, so now you're going to rotate it counterclockwise. And with the 8.5-inch side up, you're going to be going, you're scoring at 2, 4, 6, and 8. Okay, so we'll take this edge over to the 2. And we're going to score that. 4, 6, and one more is 8. But don't put it away yet. Now what we're going to do is, I want you to kind of take a look at your scored lines. This smaller little edge is on the right. This is kind of more or less going to be tabs for gluing. It's not going to really show. So that is the side that's going to be gluing. The part that has these 3 different narrow bands at the top, that is the top of your project. And so the wider section is the bottom. All right, so what we're going to do now is there are those 3 lines at the top. Go down to the second line and fold your project back right on that line. Okay, so we're going to do this now so it's folded back. Again, narrow band on the right, 3 narrow bands on the top. Here's our first score, and our second is this one. So fold it back, put it back on the trimmer, and then we are going to make some little tick marks. And our tick marks are going to be at 1, 3, 5, and 7. So you're basically just going to make a little tick mark in the middle of each section. So we're going to go to the 1-inch part, and I'm just going to put my scoring blade at the top and just barely wiggle it a little bit. And that's going to make like a notch, a little tick mark. That's not going to show. It's just, it's not going to show you either on here, is it? Well, it's in the center. If you're using pencil and ruler, just put a little pencil tick mark on there. So we have 1, 3, 5, and 7. That was 1. We're going to do that at 3. And 5. And 7. Okay. Hopefully I did that right. So you should have your main sections will have a little tick mark at the very center of each of those areas. And remember, it was folded back. I mean, I'm sure you do, but that was folded back. All right. So now what we're going to do is, I think I can move the trimmer out of the way for now. And what we need to do is do a little bit more ticking, as they tick marking, whatever that is. So I'm going to grab a pencil, and I'm going to bring my little basket of tools over here. So with your, what I would suggest, and this I might zoom in a little more so you can see it better. Okay, so remember how this was folded back. If you take that piece, just make, if you can't see it very well, you can put a little circle there with your pencil if you'd rather. And I'm just kind of doing that so that you can see it a little better. But, you know, I didn't really need this for my own self, but I'm just wanting you to know where those little tick marks were. And then I want you to make a little tick mark in the lower left corner of each of those sections. Here's the lower left corner, a little mark. Lower left corner of this one, there's a mark. And left corner. Now this little narrow band right here, you don't need to mark, okay? All right, get your, whatever you have, that's a straight edge. You can eyeball it as well, but just for the sake of you know, better outcome maybe or whatever, so you can kind of see the idea. I'm gonna make the lines that we're gonna be cutting. So from the center tick mark to the lower left, you're gonna be drawing a line there. All right, there's a line. Go to the next section, and here's the tick mark in that corner, and the center up here. Let's draw a line there. And we're repeating that one in each of the sections. Center and there. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. And this is all going to get cut off, so you don't have to worry about if it's too dark or whatever. We're going to cut that off. This is just doing our cut marks, I should say. All right. Now, before I do too much else, I am going to burnish everything. I'm going to burnish on all of the creases so that when we're putting this together, everything will be going the right way. So what we're going to do is have a bone folder or something that can work well to crease edges. And it doesn't really matter which direction, if you do it upright or back, whatever. Just go ahead and kind of burnish those. That's how you're going to get a nice crease and a nice crisp corners and edges of your box if you do that. All right, so these are all those marks that were just the panels, those 4 panels. One more here. Well, hello from Minnesota. Thank you for joining me. I'm from Minnesota as well, as you know. I appreciate you putting where you're from. Welcome. Hopefully you can find a project here that you enjoy. Can let me know what you think. Thank you for hanging out. Most of the people that I have for customers usually watch this on the replay or on YouTube. So anybody who comes right when I'm actually filming, I'm really grateful for, because some days it's a little more lonely otherwise. But I have a few regulars that come and help me out quite a bit. So thank you guys. Now, I've done all of it except this one. And here's the edge that had those, all those little score marks, remember, that we did. That was on there. So now I'm going to fold this one down that direction, and I'm going to score. Woo. Okay, just to kind of have all those scores made is going to help us to assemble our box. I'm going to go back to this fold like we had before, and now we're going to do some cutting. So grab some good good trimmers or taper snips, whatever your favorites are. The first thing we're going to do is, here's that folded edge, as I've showed you a bazillion times right now, right? Let's just start by cutting through both levels, both layers, and you're going to cut on that score line just to this line down here. So you're going down approximately 1 inch and stop at the score mark, the horizontal one, okay? This one, you can, well, it doesn't matter. We'll be taking that off anyways, but we're working with these little triangles now. So we're going to be cutting those triangles off. Go ahead and cut off that pencil mark that you made, all 4 of them. So we're starting in the middle and just cutting off that little mark that we drew on there. Okay. Very good. And don't want my hand in your way, but I want to keep those two layers just kind of together. I'm missing missing the lines a little. I can always erase that, but okay, cut off here. All right, so that's a beginning of, that's the hardest part. And you guys have already done the hardest part, so congrats, you made it. All right, so a little more cutting to do. Remember how I said this edge over here is basically tabs. What we're gonna do is look at the areas where we're making our tabs. So the biggest section right here, this is gonna be our gluing tab. We want that on there. And I usually try to make it kind of a, you know how a tab is, oh, what do they call, mitered a little bit. So we have this that's going to come off, and we're making a little bit of a tab here. We're going to make a little tab here. This is going to come off. This is off. And at the very top here, this will be a little tab as well. Okay, so now we're going to cut stuff away. This is the bottom section. So we are going to cut on that score line. And then I'm going to kind of do that miter cut right here. Okay, we're making this tab. And so we're cutting to the score mark. And we are getting rid of this section because I have those X's on there. Okay, then this tab here, I'm just going to miter those little edges just a little bit. It just kind of helps not have any buckling, that kind of thing. Starting to come together, right? Okay, and now we're going to cut right here on these lines because this is the bottom that will be folded in to make the bottom or the base of the box. So just up to that score line. Okay, and one more. And this is the basic structure and all you're doing for this box. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to adhering this together. We're going to be making this a tab and gluing that eventually. But I do like to decorate first, so I'm just kind of explaining it a little bit. And then we're going to be folding these flaps up. But these are the 4 panels that show, and these 4 panels show. This is what we decorate, but it's going to be folded back, right? So it's going to be, we're going to decorate here, and we're going to decorate here. So what we need are 4 squares. This is going to get, the top part of this is going to get covered up. So we're going to use squares to decorate this panel. And you know, these are the bottoms, they won't be there. So this is what the bottom sections are that are going to be the front faces of the box. I'll show you. Here was the other one I was telling you about. This section is right here. Okay, this wide part is this wide part. So these are the faces of the sides. And you don't need to go up here because your lid that you make out of this band, that lid covers that section up. So you just need to decorate that bottom square on each of the 4 sides, okay? All right, so I am going to figure out what I want to use to decorate with. So we are going to cover up these parts and then those. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4 squares, and then a half and a half, make another one, that's 5, and a half, make another one, that's 6. So I am going to be needing 6 DSP paper squares that I'm going to die cut out with this, okay? So I got to figure out what pattern I want to use on here. What I've been doing on most of mine is having 2 sides. I wonder if I did it here. So on this side, for example, it shows the flower that has more of a pattern to it. This one doesn't, but then the opposite side does. So I kind of decorate the opposite side similar, and then the opposite side of this one similar, if that makes any sense. Okay, I'm making it more complicated. But then I'm going to bring in that paper, and this is our, I just have some strips of this, and I'm going to be cutting out whatever panels I would choose to use. And we're going to have probably do a whale maybe on one of them as well. So you have to just kind of look and try to narrow it down. There's so many cool things that we could be using. I'm probably going to choose just 2 different patterns. If I can, so much to choose from. Look at this side. These would be just gorgeous on their own as well. And it's kind of fun because these are waves. You could use that. That's really cool looking. It's really hard to choose. So see how well that even, oh, I love it. That matches perfectly. That's why I love Stampin' Up! Stuff. It matches. You don't have to worry about, do I have the right colors? They're going to match. All right. So I am going to decide to use, I guess maybe I have a couple of whales that I'm going to be using on my project. So I think on one of my squares, I just kind of want a background. So I am going to cut out 2, well, and then 2 for the top. So I'm going to need 3 of this pattern with like this general image. Okay, so I am going to bring in my Big Shot, and we're going to chop, get some squares cut out. Again, if you don't have this, you can do this with whatever you have at home. Just use paper trimmer, a knife and a ruler, whatever, something like that. Okay, now this is the Big Shot machine that is old. We don't even have this with Stampin' Up! Anymore. I should have used my little one. That's what I should have done. I wonder if I have everything ready for it. Okay, yeah, I will. Sorry, guys. I'm going to change my mind. And I am going to pull in my little one. This will be easier. What was I thinking? Mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. Okay, so the plates tell you exactly what you need to do. We have, mine are all beat up already because I use it like many times a day. I should get my new ones out. So I have my cutting plate and my white base, which is my number 1. So 1, 2, and then what I'm going to cut goes next, and then another 2 goes on top of that. Okay? I'm like way off camera. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I gotta back up again. Woo! Back and forth. Okay. So then, what are we going to cut with this? That's my shape. And I'm pulling in that paper I had just showed you. And I'm going to go, let's see. So I want kind of a background. Here it is. I just want this, a little bit of this seaweed showing for that one. And I could really do 2 at a time. And I probably should have had them all ready but 1. But I'm not that prepared. So you got to just see the steps, right? So we are going to do this one to start with. I should have had this out further. All right, so I'm going to pull that one through. All right, let's go. Oops. I was afraid I hadn't set this down very well. I haven't. Sorry, guys. Why is this not working? I don't know what I'm doing. I have too many layers down underneath, so I'm not getting a good surface for my machine here. All right, we can do this. All right, Mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine, you're ready? Okay. And we have our paper. I think I had it on this. I could see a little bit where it's starting to cut, so I'll try to put it back in the same place. And we're going to get that in its spot. And we are going to put, you can like use Post-it note or whatever if you're afraid of it moving, which I could do, but I'll just try to see if I can do it without that. I just wanted it to get back in the same spot, that's all, but it probably won't. So, all right, let's work on getting this puppy cut because I have like more to do. We got to get it going. Okay. Oh, shoot. I am rough today. Come on, get back where you belong there. Yeah, so I guess I would recommend using a Post-it note, like I was saying. Goodness, what is going on? I must have something wrong in here. It's like something going on with my thing. Sorry, guys. I don't know what it's doing. I'll just bring this one back. I wonder if I could put this little sandwich through it. I wonder, No, what was I thinking? Of course not. All right, so now I got to figure out, here's what I had on there before. Apologize, guys. I don't know what I was doing, why that one wasn't working, but I didn't want to, like, wait long and keep trying and struggling with it. So we'll do this instead. Goodness, goodness. Now this one I could have easily done two shapes at a time. Okay, so we need, remember, 3 of each one. So here's one. Where are you? There's one. And I need to do 2 more of this same general look. So I'm going to have them on opposite sides. Okay. Alrighty. Sorry, I know it's super loud and noisy. These crack and crunch and all kinds of stuff, but that's okay. They're supposed to do that. It doesn't mean something's wrong. And then I'm going to do the one more right here in the center. That should fit. And this is just one that I'm going to cut in half to use on the little narrow band that we decorate at the top of the box. Okay? Okay. So this is part of our die cutting, one of our areas. Okay. Then what's the other side? What do I want to use? So I want to maybe do something a little more of a brighter or colorful pattern on the other side, I think. I like those guys, are cute. Maybe I'll do this. There, we got all kinds of colors in here, this. So I'll need 3 of them. You'll see more why. If that doesn't make sense yet, you'll see. Just trust me, you need 3. I've made a bazillion of these things. Shake, shake, shake. This, I have a different table here, and it's not all very sturdy, I guess. It wiggles a lot, so I bet for this, it's probably annoying. All right. And here's the second one. Alrighty, one more. So, Carrie Ann, I don't know if you're still watching or not, but it's a small town I grew up in southern Minnesota, had Schlegers down there, and so I didn't know if you knew anybody from the Jackson area, or maybe you're from there. That would be cool. But anyways, welcome again. All right, here's our third one. All right. Very good. That's that. I'm trying to think if I want to do anything else. What was I going to put that? Oh, yeah. No, I think I just use punches for the rest. Okay. Tidy, tidy. Got to get it tidied up around here. All right, so let's pull in our project again. And that's hard to see, so let's put my white paper back down here. Okay, so now we're going to assemble. Well, no, now I want to decorate. Before I put it all the way together and glue it completely together, I decorate and glue some. So what I'm gonna do this first panel. The first thing you've got to make sure you do when you glue it together, you want this flipped down like this. We're going to adhere it together with that down. So this little tab will help this one stay down and stay together, and this tab attaches it this way. So what I'm going to do is, well, I'll kind of show you how that goes. It's going to go kind of like that. You can kind of see that shape, right? So I'm going to be putting adhesive on this part right here. So I will do that right now, and a couple of choices. I guess I would suggest either tear and tape. That's super strong. So for box making, you want something super strong. Tear and tape, or you could use Seal Plus. Seal Plus, Stampin' Seal Plus if you want, or tear and tape, or this multi-purpose liquid glue works as well. Whatever you have that's really strong. I'll go ahead and put the Seal Plus on here. And a good way to get it lined up properly is just to fold it. Rather than like hold it and try to get it like that, just have this panel folded and then fold in this panel, and it'll meet right here, and give it a good hard press. And we are not gonna do I told you I needed this flipped over, didn't I? And then I didn't do it. It came undone. Figures. I don't know how many times I've had it all ready and then had to go back and kind of try to flip it without busting the box. So, word to the wise, remember to check that you flipped that panel over, okay? Okay, there we go. That's what you should have done to start with, but we're not gonna glue that together yet. So this might give you a little bit more of an idea of the decorating. So I'll do 2 of the panels, keeping in mind wherever this is like kind of more like the back almost of your box. So this is kind of, in my mind, I think of the back, and then this is more of the front, even though it's 4-sided. Don't ask me why, right? So I'm going to do one of each of our color schemes, or whatever you call it. Decorations, I'll do one panel there, and then I'll do the other panel here, like so. And I will adhere that down. You could use dimensionals if you'd like. I'm just going to go ahead and use this, the Seal, Stampin' Seal Plus. And just need a little bit. It'll hold it on real nice. Now, you know, normally we always center things, but here we're going to have 3 edges have the same amount of border. So we're going to go, it's probably a good healthy 1/8 of an inch or more. Just trying to get that nice and straight. Okay. And then I'll do the jellyfish side there. And same thing. We are going to have that nice even border, have them the same all the way around. Okay. And then we're going to use, this is for the other third. You know, we did 1, 2, and 3. One of them is going to be cut in half to be used up here. So you can use a cutter, you can, however you want to do it. I'll probably get out I'll just use my trimmer again. Probably should have done this right away. But you just cut it in half. And this is, it's actually approximately, it's a little less than 1 3/4. So I am going to want to go kind of in the center, which I'm just kind of eyeballing it. So it's in between. Here's a 1-inch mark, and here's a 1-inch mark. So I'm centering it between those 2 1-inch marks, just so that I'm cutting this little piece in half. Okay, so Post-it note would be nice. So what I'm going to just do is hope that it doesn't move and go like that. And then you can kind of hold it down and cut. Okay, there's one of them, and I'll do the other one since I've got the trimmer out here. So this one is going to go on the other side on the top. So I got to think about which direction I want this to be. Do I want this at the top? Do I want this at the top? I think you can go about any which way. I think I'm going to go with it that orientation. So I want this to be the top. Cut it in half. Oops, this is my scoring blade. Okay, so there's this one cut. All right, get that out of the way again. So now I'm going to put those corresponding half pieces up here. And the cut edge, you know, it doesn't, there's only 3, I got to find you, there we are. Only 3 of the sides have that stitched area. but it really isn't very obvious. So I'm just going to put the unstitched edge down. You can do it however you want. I don't even know if it really matters, but that's just kind of how I was doing it. And I think I'm going to use the liquid multi-purpose glue this time. Oh, your husband is? Oh, I wonder if I know him. That's a small world. Yeah, cool. It's where I grew up, my hometown, and so we knew a lot of Schlegers in town. That is cool. Okay, come on, glue. You can do it. Oh, that's my empty one. Try a different one. Okay. And so this one is going to go on this top portion here. And whoops, try to center it. Try not to get liquid glue smearlap all over. But that's pretty good. And then this panel, I want the corresponding half to go here. I want to look at it. Let's see. I think that's fine. Put a little bit on the back of that. Okay. Now I kind of beat up my box a little bit accidentally, just when I was it slid when I was having to bend that back over again because I didn't remember to fold it back. So it's a little bit more beat up, but I think I don't think that'll really show too much. All right, we'll flip it over and do the same thing on this side. We're gonna go, it doesn't matter which glue you want to use. They both are great. Whatever's strong. Okay, centered. And the nice thing about if you do use the liquid one, it can be scooted a little bit before it really grabs on, so you can kind of fine tune your placement there as it kind of starts to set up. Okay. And this one, let's see which way I'll put it on, like so. And again, this pattern I thought would maybe be more appealing to kids and stuff, if something they would like. So hopefully, you know, kind of geared for them. But who wouldn't? I mean, anybody, of course, it can work for anybody because it's so pretty. Colorful, I love it. All right. So we'll put these guys on again. So I hope you were able to kind of make a pattern for yourself and that you could take notes. You'll be able to go back and look at it again if you need to. Once you've done it a time or two, it's really goes pretty fast. And it's just kind of something really different. You don't have to be an overly experienced crafter to be able to do this. It looks like it. It looks like it would be complicated and tough. But if you take your time and walk through these steps and kind of do them in the right order, you'll be golden. Good to go. Okay? All right. I have also made a different sample using the embossing folder as one of the panels, which looked really cool also. Hello. All right, the next thing I want to do is get a paper punch, and this one is, I think, a 1/16 of an inch. You can use something sharp and poke a hole. I'm doing this to put a handle, like a ribbon handle on there. And so I am going to go two opposite sides. I'm going to use the jellyfish patterned section to put that on. So I'm going to go kind of in the middle. And punch on one side, only through one layer. You don't have to go all the way through to the back layer. One layer is fine. I don't know if you can see kind of how that looks in there. And then on the opposite side would be this same one again, the same pattern, only the opposite side, and I am only going through that one layer. Okay, and we'll be using that again for the handle, for a ribbon handle. So I'm going to grab that ribbon now, and we'll kind of, I think I was guessing it like about a 12-inch piece, but that is plenty big. You can, if you're trying to conserve or whatever, you can go less. I just was being generous with that. You can, you know, have it be a lot shorter, I think. But if you do about 12 inches, you know that you'll be good and you won't run out or have to be really careful. If your knot isn't at the end or something. A little leeway there. So I'm just making a knot, and I put this through, and I'm going to trim that so it's a little bit closer. This is not going to show because you pull it up and then it's going to get hidden behind that layer. See how that is? All right, so then we're going to try to keep your ribbon from twisting, and you're going to be going to the opposite side over here, as you can see, like so. And I'm going to go around, and then I'm going to go through this hole here and try to pull that through without being frustrated. It's a lot. Sometimes it goes right in, and then sometimes, you know, it doesn't cooperate. So we're poking that ribbon. It's real sheer, real light. I really like that look. So that's going to be the little handle, and that's where people will get the idea, oh, this is something you open. You pull up on this, and there's a purpose. Like, oh, you know, if you didn't know, you maybe wouldn't know it's a box that opens. So it's kind of helps people understand what it is a little better if you have that handle on there. Although I didn't put it on all of my samples that I made yet. I probably will. Or you could even just use a piece of a paper strip and glue it really well. And that's another option. So we'll tighten that down and trim it like so. And again, that's going to get tucked behind that flap. So that's going to be your handle. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is, I suppose we could get our whales going. Get your whale on. This is part of a suite. As I was telling you before, it all coordinates together. It's really a cool set. I said that a time or two, haven't I? So what I'm going to do is bring in some paper and my punch. I think I did pre-punch one of them if he didn't swim away. Is that funny? Not really. Okay. And so I guess I'll just go ahead and punch out my two whales that I want to use on opposite sides. And the paper for that, I don't know that any of my samples here. I kind of wanted to do the one that matches this paper. There is kind of this color, that pretty peacock whale that is on some of the paper. So I need to get a little bigger piece of that paper so I can cut that out. Okay. All right, looking for a couple of whales that are this that color, that pretty peacock color. And so, where are you, whales? Now this is one of the sheets that has the whales. These can be punched out as well with that punch that I have that coordinates. And it's nice because you just go ahead and you find the one you want, and you can see it on the bottom, and then you just punch it out. So it works super slick, especially if you need to make a bunch of things. Just to punch them out is really helpful. But it also goes along with the stamp set. If you stamp it, you can punch it out too. Just looking for the right paper. Where are you, whales? Okay, it's on the opposite side. It's not that one. I probably had it out all ready to go somewhere. Here, let me pull in my paper here. So I want this pattern, this one, so it has this background, which I bet is this one right here. Yes. See if I have any teal ones. Or not teal. This one kind of works. He almost has a cut on him, but not quite. I think he's safe. So I'm going to punch this one out. And then I need to find another one. And I'll just do this purple one too. I think that'll still match. Do I have any purple? Yeah, I think that'll be all right. I'll do a purple one. All right, so here's what you do. Hopefully you can see this very well. And again, if you would rather stamp and color the images colors you want to use, that works too. Or you can use the paper. There's that guy. And we'll do one more in this color. Super slick. And we will get an even border all the way around. Okay. And it cuts out other things too, and one of them is kind of the little splash, like the spray, I guess you'd say. So that is really cute to use as well. And it has some other ones that can be used, I don't know if you can see this, but this would be more like if you wanted to make it ripples of the water, and you'd be able to put those up, pop them up a little bit. Just adds a lot of dimension that way in your project. And there's some little just plain water drops too. Water drops. Cute. Oh my goodness. All right, let's finish up. And okay, I'm gonna put the whale on just the more plainer paper that doesn't have any guys on it, any animals or whatever. It's possible the tail could get tucked inside here, but I think it'll be all right. Now I'm going to use dimensionals for this part. Excuse me, I just need a quick drink. All right, we are going to use dimensionals, and it's nice to have the little ones. Those work really well, but you don't have to use them because these bigger ones could be cut, whatever you have. So I am going to put 2 of them on the back, I guess, of this one. And he's going to be swimming like, I suppose he could be, I think he'll probably do something like that. And then I am going to try to get this splash on there, but I don't need a very big piece of foam on it, so I'm just going to do a little bit. These edges here are all connected. They're really nice for frames and stuff like that, but you can cut down to whatever size you want to use for a dimensional. Let's see if this is small enough. And I'm going to really need 2 small ones, one for each side. Excuse me. I'm not used to talking this much. Okay. Little ones. Gosh, I should have just used my my small ones. These are... You wouldn't think that little piece would make a big difference, but it really does. It's kind of cool. You could put a second one on if you'd want, but I'm just going to do it with the one, I think. I'm lucky to get that one done. And then you have your little splash coming up. And I'll probably put some kind of sparkle on there or something like that to make it stand out even more. And on this side, I will put the other one. Just a couple dimensionals. Another thing that works really nice is vellum. If you have any vellum, that's a really cool effect you can put like behind it as well. You could also cut out that little spray out of vellum. I've seen that, and color it or not, you know, either way. It's kind of fun. But we'll put this guy on like so, and go ahead and get another. I wonder if it's still on here. Nope. Little piece of foam dimensional comes to the rescue. Okay, and take the liner off then, and we will get that one to kind of stick up a little bit again, like so. Okay, next thing is just embellishing. You know what I forgot to do was I was going to make a tag and put it on before I tied this. I can still go back. I have a long enough one where I could, I'm going to show you what I mean. Oh goodness. Then I'm going to use my ovals. I don't need this one anymore. So now I'm going to use my oval punch, and this is just another example of you use what you have. Whatever you have would work. Maybe you don't have any of them. You could just make a tag however you prefer. This is just one way of many. So this makes, it punches out the matting piece and your inside sentiment piece. So let's find, really a scrap would be just fine. Just want to make sure that whatever I use to stamp is going to be dark enough. Like, I don't want it too busy of a background, which is really nice. Really nice when you have these real subtle sides as well. You're not always just looking for. I mean, you're going to have a use for these too. They might not jump out at you as much, but they're very necessary for some of the things, such as this. What I'm going to do with this, okay? Ink. Remember I had the Pretty Peacock ink. I'm going to be needing a couple of other little things. Oh, did I stamp one already? Yeah, I don't like that one. All right. And who knows where I put my ink? It's probably buried under tin. Here it is. Pretty Peacock, and again, this is one of the retiring colors, so I want to quick use it up while I can because it's just so pretty, and I'm going to be getting stocked up on some of it before it's gone too. Probably some of the paper, like I'm using this color, and it's just sort of it can be used in so many different ways. It could be floral, it could, be kids, and that kind of thing. So whatever you have uses for, it works. There we are. Just says a little treat for you. So that's going to be the sentiment on the tag that I'm going to have hanging on the side of it. So I'm going to clean that in a bit here. So let's go ahead and make our tag. Let's see. I'm going to want to cut on the bottom here. So you can see exactly where you're going when you're cutting or punching. That's the nice thing about punches, is makes it really easy that way. You can see what you're doing. I want to make sure it's straight. I usually look straight on, but there we go. All right, so I'm just going to use this. Okay, and then for this one, I want to use something darker, but that kind of still goes along. On the other side of one of my papers, that was that real deep teal. That was really cool. Look, I call it teal, but it's Pretty Peacock. Let's see where it is. Yeah, this would look pretty, or would match well. Here's the one I wanted. I really love that one. And so I'm going to use that behind the sentiment, okay? We'll just cut this out, or punch this out, I should say. Okay, and we'll adhere that onto the matted area there. You could use dimensionals again. I mean, I don't think you can use dimensionals too much, right? But either way, whatever you prefer. All right, and I'm going to also give this a little punch like I did for the handle. Same size. I'm just going to put a little punch in there so that I can get this to go onto the ribbon. Even though I already adhered it, I'm going to cut it. Do what I was supposed to do, because I have plenty of length there. So we'll try again here. I'm going to cut off this little guy, and we're going to get our tag on there where it belongs. Kind of want it just hanging down like so. And so I will put this through the hole and let that hang down there. Bring it up and over and through this hole again. Try it again. That's why I make it a little longer, so I had a little leeway. If I was too close and made it too tight of a handle, then I wouldn't have been able to redo it. So I was ready for a mistake, right? Or a challenge. That might be another thing. Another way to look at it. Okay, so I am knotting this again. sure you are. I just don't want it to be folded, you know, like a flipped over, so that it makes it funny. Now it's getting harder to make the little knot because it's shorter. Maybe I was speaking too soon. Jeez. Sometimes it's the little things that can be hard when you're on camera. It's like I make a bazillion knots a day, and now here I am trying to make one, and it's not cooperating. Oh, goodness. Where there's a will, there's a way. You just got to hang in there and keep trying, right? I could always make a new handle, but I think this will work still. Oh, cricket, cricket. You guys, this is really sick. Take all night to make a knot. And when it says something really tough, then I get it done right away, right? Okay, this is making me mad. Laugh or cry? I'll laugh. Laugh at myself. Such a silly little thing, you guys. Like okay, there. Thank you. My goodness. Okay, it's really not that hard. Okay, so there we have that. What we're going to do now maybe is put on some of those rhinestones. And I'll grab those out here, that little dish of rhinestones or little container, I guess you'd say, which are very colorful and shiny and pretty and hidden, and yeah. I can do this. Like about this time in my broadcasting all the time, I start missing stuff because I always just pile everything on top, and then I don't take note of where I put things. So I start losing things, and they're necessary. So where would I have put them, I wonder? Okay, la 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 la. All right, so gonna go to a different plan. I don't know. Goodness. Okay, well, we're just gonna pretend that I put them on. It's just not gonna be as blingy then. They'll show up. All right, let's finish up and get this guy put together. So I'm gonna be getting out this multi-purpose liquid glue. Works really well. So I am going to take a look at, this is the back, so I am kind of keeping that in mind. I want my last folds to go towards the back, but I'm going to go one in and put a little adhesive, or a lot. This will be really strong once it's done, and then I am going to go this flap in next, because I want the last flap to go back towards the back of the project. And we'll go one more. I'm just kind of pushing it so it's nice and square. And now I usually get something that's a little bit longer that I can put down in there, and just kind of press around and kind of get a nice even pressure way down in there so that the glue is all like spread out and it's nice and square. Okay, we're getting there. All right, next we are going to do the top, and what you can do is kind of just get it to fold down like so. I'm just pushing it down. This part is supposed to be under here, but I was a little rough on it, so like that. And this is going to go behind. Okay, I didn't make a very long handle, but it'll be fine because once you pull up, you just want something there to kind of show people how to pull it up and open it. So I need adhesive on here, on this little flap, and I'm going to want to make sure it really holds well. Probably tear and tape would really be the best. I'm getting it nice and square, pushed together really well, and then I'm going to tuck that behind and just really push it in so that it gets nice and square in there, but it's not doing the best, but it's okay. And I just want it to stay grabbed and not have a big pile of glue come out so that it makes a big shiny mess. So that is going to hold there. All right. And then I'm just pulling it up so I can kind of, you know, just get it nice and square and press it down a little more. Okay. So we're about done. We're getting there. Yeehaw. And so here is kind of how it looks on the different sides. Okay, how cute. I love this patterned paper and this color. Okay, so this is how this one looks. Here's the handle. Here's the water splash right there that I think I need a little bit of spritz on that. But what I'm gonna do is, since this is all, it can all kind of be a little spritzed and glitzy, I have, we have these little paint, shimmer paint it's called, and it's sort of just iridescent basically. You put it in one of these spritzers. I have some water and alcohol in it. And so that is I'm gonna spray that on, and that's just gonna give a little shimmer effect. I don't know if you're even gonna be able to see it very well, but in person you will. So you just kind of let it mist onto there. And I'm gonna move this out of the way for that part. And on the front of the tag, oof, I'm gonna have a glistening hand as well. Okay, you wouldn't think that does a lot, but it does. Another thing about the top, if you want, you can cut out patterned paper and glue it onto here. What I have done is used this on some of my other samples. You'll see I just cut out 2 more. Maybe I should just do it. I don't know how we're coming on time, but whatever you would want to decorate, you're going to use 2 full squares again. I wonder if I have any squares cut. Let's see what would look nice with this. On the top, that would go, just something like this. We could try to add a little more color in too, or this would work. I wonder if I can get, yeah. So I'm going to quick cut these out, okay? Really quick, and I'm going to use my Big Shot. I wish I had the big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine that we have from Stampin' Up, but I don't, so I can't. I'm saving my pennies for it. Okay, where's my other plate? So I have to sandwich this between a plate, another plate, and I had just probably tossed it to the side. So all I do is sit and hunt. Okay, can you see that? Yeah, I guess you can, kind of. So I'm grabbing my plate. I've always wondered if I could use my little one with it. I think I can. Just gonna see if that works as an experiment. Okay, like that. That would be one of the rectangles. Now again, you don't have to do this part, and I should have just done it when I was doing my other die cutting before, but yeah, that just didn't come to me to do that. And so you can use this designer series paper and the same die from the other, the same as before. Oh man, this is getting long. Sorry guys. We can do this. Almost done. Crash. Of course, you can adhere the little gems and that kind of thing on there as well. Wow, this is super iridescent. I wonder if you can see it. I don't know if it kind of shows some of it. It must have been a real strong concentration of the stuff in there, the glittery spray. I don't know, it's super glittery. But okay. And then we are going to just cut from corner to corner like that, and corner to corner like this. And we're going to adhere that on the top. And it's going to just get trimmed down. Okay. I'm just going to put a little adhesive here. And I'm going to put it in place. And it's a little big, but that's okay. We're going to trim it once they're all on. Okay. I'll just go opposites here. The other corner of the same piece. Okay. So is everybody getting excited about it's like feeling like spring? Sort of. Oh, we're getting there. We can do this. It is very helpful to lift our spirits a little bit when we can get outside and we can really enjoy it. And I love spring. It's my favorite time of year. I love flowers blooming and all that good stuff. So we're getting there. Yay. It's almost Easter. That's why these can be used for that, for Easter. That's kind of what made me kind of think about it, is I do want to make little boxes for, well, I can't say who because then they'll know, but yeah, for somebody. This would be cute to have one at everybody's table or everybody's spot for Easter, or send it in the mail or whatever. So I'm just trimming it off with the scissors right up to the edge there. And then that way you know you're getting it exactly for that panel fit into place. There's a little bit of adhesive that's kind of sticking. That's okay, we'll get that off. Nice trim, yay. And so we have the top decorated a little bit. We'll bring this back over. And there we are. What do you think? You can go through and do a little bit more cleanup. That's what I need to do here, I see, is just kind of clean this up a little bit. I think I was a little heavy-handed with the spritzer, and so I see a piece of my paper came up, so I am going to have to go through and, you know, touch up and make sure everything's adhered down because I used too much of my spray, and I used that way it had a little bit too much liquid in it, and then that made the adhesive give a little bit here. Okay. But so while this one is drying right there, I'll get it to dry. I'll show you some other samples. Like I want to put something shiny right on these splashes. And you could have a little treat for you there, and then you could put some goodies. See how that opens? Is that fun or what? It just opens right up, and then you just press it right back down, wiggle it a little bit, and it'll go right back into its own lid, and it's its own top there, and you can't lose it. It stays adhered on, and then the recipient is going to know that they just got to lift up, and there it is. Oh, isn't that fun? I just love this pattern and this layout. Ugh. Okay, I'm going to show you some other patterns. I couldn't decide what I wanted, which paper pack I wanted to use and who I wanted to gear it towards. So like every other day I was making a different sample and trying to decide. So I had made a bunch of them that were like floral and springy and that kind of thing. And then I made one that's more of a formal, you'll see. Here's one set that I used. This is a retired paper that we had during Celebration. You can use up your Celebration paper if you had earned any free sets. This is one of those paper sets that people could earn. I just punched out a couple of the same daisies and put little pearls in there, and we're good to go. I would probably put a little ribbon handle on it as well. And again, same opening and the same configuration there. So that kind of echoes here. I think a little blue on the petals in the middle would match that really nice, like pool party or whatever cool color that is. That's one. And here's another sample I used. I wanted some just real bright colors for this one. And same thing here. Okay, come back down and has its own lid. I like that part, and I just used a bunch of die cuts, stitched die cuts on each side was a little different. I was trying different layouts for it and that kind of thing. Didn't do a tag yet for that one. Next, here's another of our retired paper that, not retired, sorry guys. This is from Celebration, that some of the free paper people could earn. So I thought I wanted to give ideas for you if you had gotten any of this paper, some of the things you could do with it. I just tied a little ribbon around here. I adhered it in the corners and tied the bow. And so that is kind of a different way to do a ribbon on this one. It's less of a handle then, more just kind of a decoration. And you could say here to your mom or whatever. Next one is, this is the other one that I used, the same pattern of paper that we just got done using. So this is the same suite of products, completely different color scheme. And here is, you can see that cool embossing folder paper on there. And I repeated that at the top. I really like that. I really want to try doing some different coloring techniques on that. That's a really cool embossing folder. You can see it has a lot of depth to it. Some things are just lightly raised, some are more, so it's not just up and down, it's like different levels in there. So, and I used coordinating ribbon for that one. Here's some of those the little sequins that come with that set that I don't know, they're hiding from me at the moment, but I just glued those on with some of that liquid glue. And on this side as well, a little bit here and there. Kind of reminds me of bubbles too. And the tag is pretty much the same, and I did put some of the sequins on there too. There you go. Upside down. A little treat for you. And now this is the one you saw in, if you might have seen this one in my promo for it, just to let people know about it. I love this one. It's one of my favorites, using the Hydrangea Hill suite of products. Here is this kind of a, I wish I could remember what it is, like a plastic mylar type, but it has that purple on it, and it also has some pink also with that set. And then I used the stitched blooms and just cut out some coordinated little flowers and that kind of thing. And I used that the ribbon for that suite. So this one you open up, and this one I already have the goodies in there too. So just to show you, you can have whatever you would want in there. I think you could fit a gift card in there too, I think. You know, kind of this direction, put a gift card in there. So that would be another thing you could do. And so I have some Easter goodies in there that you just kind of lift up, lift and load. So lift and load, some little Dove chocolates with that springy little flower pattern on there. These were, I don't know, some jelly bean things. And I would probably put a little grass in there too, but I didn't have that yet. So here is that style, or that one. Then I also used, I wanted something for some of the guys, or some of the kind of that formal thing. This is the Well Suited suite, and it kind of has more of a clothing. So it has bow ties in it, It has buttons, and this is a piece of the pocket that I have up on dimensionals that I just trimmed to fit on this side. And then I kind of kept, this is the tie cut out that comes with it, and I just kind of left that on there. Isn't that cute? I really liked how that tie just extended up there. And that goes down like so. A little bow tie. So I did bow ties on two sides, and then I used the actual, like a regular necktie on the other. And this one I used is like a collar cut out you can use. And these are little buttons, but you can't really see that well. But that one, again, kind of extends as you open it. I thought that was kind of fun. I don't know what you think. I just used the paper handle for that one. So that would be maybe for a different set of people in your life, right? With the more masculine look there. And I think that's it. Yeah. Am I missing anything? No. So guys, I hope this gives you some ideas. I hope this makes sense to you as far as how you put it together. You can go back and replay this a few times, hoping that I, was clear on paper sizes and score marks and everything. If not, please let me know, because I am happy to, I can put a PDF up if you would like that better, so that you can read it. It depends on how you learn too, like what your preferred learning style is. But I don't know, maybe this can be something you can make for your family or friends, or a birthday party or a shower or something. I might have to dig into this right here. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna switch the camera around. Whew. Did you learn anything? I'm hoping you liked it and that you are inspired maybe to give it a try. Again, let me know if you need help. But hopefully you'll enjoy this kind of a unique little box that has its own lid on it. Let me know if you need anything, and feel free to go to my store if you need that. I'm also working on my website, which is just keepintouchcrafts.com. It's in the development stages. You can go look at that, and I want to have a blog on it and that kind of thing. YouTube channel, working on it. Instagram, working on it. Facebook, working on it. So we're getting there. It's a lot to do, but I love it. This is what I really enjoy doing so much. I found it to be very therapeutic and just so fun to share the products that Stampin' Up! Has, because they are really good quality and you can get it in the mail. You don't have to go running around all these craft stores. Everything coordinates, which is super nice. That's why I ended up just biting the bullet and saying, yes, I want to go all in here, and I have not regretted it 1 minute. And I hope you enjoy, and I hope you can keep in touch with your family and loved ones. Have a great rest of the week and a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Take care.